Welcome to the video replay for Double Up Trivia for June 7th, 2020. While this video just contains the questions and answers, the live event, which streams Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad, features live scoring and competition among teams. Rounds 1 and 2 each have 8 questions. During the actual live trivia event, teams will complete answer sheets and submit them at the end of each round. The value of each question is determined once all the answers are submitted. The value is based on the difficulty, as determined by the number of correct answers for each question, so it's a truly dynamic scoring system that depends on each quiz's individual participants. Also, teams get to double the value of one question per round. For the video replay, I'll read the question and then pause for a few seconds. If you want more time to think about the question and answer, simply pause the video playback. Each question will be followed by its answer. In the live event, teams would see all 8 questions and submit their answers prior to seeing the correct answers. Round 1, Question 1. The 2015 novel Go Set a Watchman is actually a first draft of what novel, published 55 years earlier? And the answer is To Kill a Mockingbird. While the book was originally promoted as a sequel, it in fact uses many of the same passages as the earlier book. Round 1. Question 2. Director David Mamet produced a one-man show in which what person was the only cast member, although the title of the show made reference to his 52 assistants? And the answer is Ricky Jay. Jay was a world-renowned sleight-of-hand artist who performed card tricks during the show. He also appeared in David Mamet films, including House of Games and The Spanish Prisoner. Round 1, Question 3. While there may have been as many as 69 of these objects created, only 57 exist today. 46 of them were made for Tsars Alexander III and Nicholas II as gifts. What are these objects, all produced between 1885 and 1917? And the answer is Fabergé eggs. 10 of the eggs are currently in the Kremlin Armory, 5 are in the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in Richmond, and 3 are in the Royal Collection in London. Round 1, Question 4. What American artist, born Emanuel Radnitsky, contributed to Dadaism and Surrealism and shares a name first and last with a character from SpongeBob SquarePants? And the answer is Man Ray. The SpongeBob SquarePants character Man Ray can remove his head and still speak. Round 1, Question 5. Mount Terror and Mount Erebus, named after ships abandoned in the Victoria Strait as part of an 1848 expedition to find the Northwest Passage, are both volcanoes on what continent? And the answer is Antarctica. Dan Simmons' novel The Terror tells a fictionalized, somewhat supernatural tale of the lost crews of the HMS Terror and the HMS Erebus. Round 1, Question 6. What social media service, with which users could create short videos of themselves lip-syncing to popular songs, was registered using the country top-level domain of Libya, and in late 2017 was merged with and expanded the reach of TikTok? And the answer is Musical.ly. The platform was originally designed for educational purposes. Users would create short teaching videos about various topics. Round 1, Question 7. The diagram shown at right is named after what theoretical physicist, whose last name is missing from the title of his book, Surely You're Joking, Mr. Blank? And the answer is Richard Feynman, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1965 and also served on the Rogers Commission, which investigated the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger. Round 1, Question 8. The 2 presenters for the Best Picture Award, which was erroneously announced as La La Land, were selected because it was the 50th anniversary of what film starring the pair as the titular duo, a film which got 10 nominations and 2 Oscar wins? And the answer is Bonnie and Clyde. The two presenters were Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, who were both nominated for acting awards for Bonnie and Clyde, although neither won, and the film lost the Best Picture award to In the Heat of the Night. That concludes round 1. Round 2 works exactly like round 1, with scoring again based on the question's actual difficulty and with each team having the ability to double the value of one question. Round 2, question 1. In 1978, a white supremacist named Joseph Franklin, outraged by a set of interracial photos, shot and paralyzed what man outside a Georgia courthouse while the man in question was fighting misdemeanor obscenity charges? And the answer is Larry Flynt. Flynt did not want his attacker sentenced to death. His attacker was a serial killer and was executed for murder in Missouri in November 2013. Round 2. Question 2. An icosahedron is a platonic solid commonly associated with a product first published by Tactical Studies Rules. How many edges, not faces, does an icosahedron have? And the answer is 30. An icosahedron is a 20-sided solid for which each face is a triangle. The 20 triangles have 60 total sides or edges, and since each edge is shared by exactly 2 triangles, you can divide 60 by 2 to get 30 total edges. Round 2, question 3. The profile of a famous person has been removed from the image of the coin shown at right. With what office is the person most famously associated? And the answer is Pope, and part of the inscription on the coin is the Latin form of John Paul II. Round 2, question 4. The contaminated blood scandal of the 1970s and 80s arose when nearly 4,000 UK residents contracted hepatitis C through contaminated clotting factor products provided by the National Health Service. What genetic disorder did most of the 4,000 infected people have? And the answer is hemophilia. To date, the compromised clotting agents have led to the deaths of more than 1,200 people. Round 2, question 5. In response to a woman with 20 children stating that she loved her husband, what person purportedly quipped, quote, "I love my cigar, but I take it out of my mouth once in a while," although he denied ever uttering the line? And the answer is Groucho Marx, who allegedly uttered the line while hosting You Bet Your Life, but the line was too risque and the supposed episode never aired. Round 2, question number 6. The name of what amusement has a literal English translation from both French and Spanish to Russian mountain, while the Russian name for it literally translates to English as American mountain? And the answer is roller coaster. In French, roller coaster is les montagnes russes, while in Spanish it is la montaña rusa. Round 2, question 7. What dish, named after a French writer, is prepared by grilling a center cut of tenderloin between 2 other pieces of meat which are discarded after cooking, although the name of the dish now typically refers to the specific cut of tenderloin instead? And the answer is Chateaubriand, which was named for François-René de Chateaubriand, who was a romantic writer who was extremely popular in France in the early 1800s. And the last question for round 2. The number of waveform events transmitted per unit of time is measured in units named after Émile Baudot and is typically associated with what electronic device? The unit is the baud, which comes from Baudot, and the device is a modem, which is a portmanteau of modulator-demodulator. And that finishes round 2. For round 3, the teams are given a category with approximately 10 answers. Each team submits exactly 5 answers. The answers are all scored based on how common or rare they are. The rarer the answer, based on the actual responses from all the teams, the more points the answer is worth. Here's this week's final question. The Fellowship of the Ring, formed after the Council of Elrond, consisted of 9 people, both in the book and the Peter Jackson film of the same name. Name 5 of the 9 actors who portrayed members of the Fellowship of the Ring in the Peter Jackson film. And the 9 possible answers for round 3 were Sean Astin, Sean Bean, Orlando Bloom, Billy Boyd, Viggo Mortensen, Ian McKellen, Dominic Monaghan, John Rhys Davies, and Elijah Wood. Thanks for watching this replay of Double Up Trivia. Future replays will be posted on this channel, but please come join the actual live event, streaming every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad. There's no cost to play and no prizes. Just show up, see what you know, and learn something new. Thanks for watching.